Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the Aster community. We're going to be taking a look at Aster, as of November 18th, see what's happening with its price, and of course, what we could be expecting as we are going further into the week. So, as you can see across the board, Aster right now is the second largest gainer right now across the board, up 16% over the course of the last 24 hours alone. It's gaining a lot of momentum. And, while even the broader market was seeing a retracement, you were seeing Aster holding its overall momentum quite nicely. And that, again, is something we were obviously pointing out. And, with this retracement that we have seen, this is one of the coins that actually has held its ground quite nicely. Take a look at it on a weekly time frame, up 24.4%. You can see for yourself. So, very interesting stuff, but let's take a closer look and see what's happening with Aster. Before we do that, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So $1.35 as of recording this update, up 14% on the Bitcoin side of things. Market valuation $2.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at 1.2 billion. If you're looking at this, guys, you can see CZ once said, real strength shows when the market is red. Today, Aster is proving that better than anything in the industry. While Bitcoin and the rest of the market bleed, Aster keeps grinding up. That's not luck, that's conviction, buybacks, and real builders is shipping into the red. So pretty much, talking about how what I've just highlighted to you guys before, and I've been pretty much highlighting this in the last few updates as well. The broader market has been in a downside, and again, even though we're seeing a little bit of a bounce for the broader market today, nothing to be getting overly excited about. But the fact that the broader market did see a bounce, you saw Aster really taking advantage of that, up 16%, as you can see for yourself. As far as the dominance is concerned, see for yourself, we're currently sitting at 59%. Again, your dominance is pulling down quite sharply, as we know. Let's take a look at it on an hourly time frame. Dominance has been on this downwards trajectory since Bitcoin has been in this downwards trend. You can see for yourself, we saw dominance retesting 58.99% not too long ago. I think we went lower than that, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take, yeah, there we have it. Yeah, we actually went down to 58.81%. We have seen a little bit of an uptick since then. But Bitcoin, on the other hand, is something I want you guys to keep in mind. So, Bitcoin was able to reach a new monthly low just yesterday, which of course was around, you could see for yourself, $89,000. And we have seen a little bit of a bounce, exactly what I've projected. I said, we might see a little bit of a bounce, and we did retest my target at $89,000 price point. You can see for yourself a level we spoke about in my market analysis update. If you did end up watching, you could see since then the price did bounce back up into the point 50. We could even push back up to 93,000, but again, I'm still not buying it. I think we still have a little bit more downside left. We're far away from where Bitcoin needs to be, and I think it's going to complete this wave. My targets, of course, are $86,000 to complete this wave, but we could potentially see Bitcoin even dropping below 86K. But that is where I want the price of Bitcoin to go at, because that would, like I said, complete the wave, and it would really tell us what really is next for the crypto space. But right now we're seeing a little bit of a bounce, which again is the reason why we're seeing some green across the board. But like I said, Aster has been creeping up pretty much over the course of the last few weeks, to be quite honest with you. So let's take a look at what ended up happening today. So I want you guys to focus very closely on Aster here and really understand what is going on. So you could pretty much see this little drawing that I had for you guys in the last update. I talked about $1.40. That's exactly where the green candle wicked up to, and we saw a rejection a little bit, and we're still sitting just below $1.35. But I want you guys to understand what ended up happening with Aster. Let's give it a refresh live, and I will show you. Actually, the chart has gone, so we have to bring the chart once again. See for yourself here. So we were pretty much consolidating below this key resistance for a month at this point. So for a whole month, and I've talked to you guys about how several times we've seen this resistance being retested, but it was obviously seeing a rejection. But this time around today, when we did see Bitcoin seeing a little bit of a bounce, again, in a grand scheme of things, Bitcoin is nowhere near where it needs to be honest. And the broader market is still, not anywhere where it needs to be. So I still think, there is more downside for Bitcoin. But, Aster definitely took advantage of this move. And you can see for yourself, we were able to break out of this key range, retest a level that we actually have not seen for a month straight. So Going back to what I said, anyone that was able to pick up, Aster around 80 cents. So, initial CZ announcement. Remember when CZ tweeted saying, "Oh, you know what? He's buying Aster at these levels." We saw it going up to the $1.28, and it was short lived because it literally round tripped because of course the broader market also saw quite a big retracement. But again, that seemed to be the bottom at 82.6 cents. Since then, Aster price is up 70%, a 70% increase, which is quite substantial. And we're about to see Aster closing the daily candle above this key resistance around the $1.22. Again, just over the last 24 hours, we have seen quite a sharp move. Let me show you guys that on the hourly time frame. See for yourself. We were sitting at $1.15 just last night. We saw an increase of 20%, as you could see for yourself. And right now, I think closing above this key range as far as the daily candle is concerned, closing here, pretty much opens the door for us to start retesting the $1.47 level, which again, we have not been above since the beginning of October. And obviously after that, in my opinion, things could really start getting excited. Is Aster really going to be one of those coins that outpaces the broader market? We'll see what happens. You just still cannot ignore, the market conditions, but I think, it is here to really, give a battle to Hyperliquid, because again, that's also a big decentralized exchange. But with the CZ, backing, and how CZ pretty much publicly even stated that he's buying Aster, I think that is something that a lot of people are not going to overlook. Obviously, a risk factor that's comes down to your due diligence and research. As I always say, always do your due diligence research when you are investing in crypto. Very, very important. But you could see for yourself, we're really seeing Aster, moving, and there are a lot of competitors. As I've stated to you guys before, Aster is a decentralized exchange, but there's a lot of other competition out there. But with CZ behind it is where the confidence really comes into play. So again, we'll see what happens. Obviously, people that are in it for the long haul, that understand, potentially that, if Aster does have a big potential, then, if you that is your case long-term perspective, then obviously patience is your number one key to follow. But if you're swing trading, again, I'm not a big fan of leverage trading. I'm totally against that. But if you're still swing trading, I would suggest you guys to lock profits in when you see them. And obviously, people that spot trade and make profits off of that, because you could swing trade on spot side of things as well. Again, if you bought this literally just over the last 24 hours, that was about a 20% increase right off the bat. But I think things could really start looking quite exciting for Aster, especially in this market conditions. Based off of this breakout that we have seen, and if it's able to close the daily candle around this key range, I'm anticipating the $1.47 to be retested much quicker than a lot of people are realizing. Thank you so much for the love. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys comment down below your personal thoughts. And also, please make sure your bell icon is on so you're notified every time we upload. We'll see you later in crypto, ZX and P.